with many tags. So Queen, if you
all right, we going live. Live in the building tonight. Yes, we are.
It's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone.
Yes, we are. We live in the building tonight.
Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone. Young Motive is back with the topic of the day. It's a crucial situation that we all must pay more attention to.
Y'all.
It's bringing families down. You know me, I know the truth, and I'ma spread it around. It usually happens at home behind closed doors, but it's spread it through.
There's so much going on.
It's like they got their head in the news from all the scars of
This
the
whole
physical and
domestic
verbal
violence
abuse.
movement
Men
thing
do it to women, women do it to men. It's a
coming
cycle
out
that
of
happens over and over
the
again.
back of
It's
the
disturbing
truck
and far
and all
from
that.
bliss. And each and every child is
Come on,
emotionally affected by this. I think it's time we bring the dark to
Tell
the
that
light
story.
to stop the 911.
I ain't seen you all year.
Middle of the night, so I'm
Come on, you can share your
and I
story.
hope it's worth my while. It's racing the bond between
Oh, it's October. That's why.
I ain't seen you all year. I done been through the fire, rolled down a couple of hills, almost dodged bullets, and you talking about something you about to tell your story. Girl,
That's because it's that time of month. Whereas though we speak on it all year round, like, but it's
yeah,
October, everybody's like ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not expanding, girl.
yeah.
All right, we live in the building tonight. Thank y'all so much for chiming in. We are back here for the Sisterhood view. We got our own view, all right, about the umbrella topics of domestic violence. Okay, y'all see how many topics we have been exploring and diving deep in to figure out the many tags that domestic violence wears. And not only that, but the many spaces and places the tags actually show up. Verbal abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse shows up in all of our topics that we be talking about. That's how you know it's such a huge topic, right? But we want to narrow it down tonight and talk about domestic violence in sports with relation to intimate partner violence, whether it's youth or adults in these sports arenas and things and such. Interpersonal relationships or abusive relationships, however you want to categorize it. It's same-sex relationships because they experience this too in sports, in the sports arena. It's not just, I know the coaches, some of them coaches out there, woo, Lord have mercy.
Right.
Ooh, they need Jesus, good Lord. They need Jesus. They need Jesus. They need Jesus or Allah and Jesus. They need Hindu. They need yoga. They need what's another one they need?
They need yoga of it all.
Look, the yoga where the ghosts walk on your back, the little baby ghosts walk on your back. Our coaches out here on these fields need every piece of therapy they can get at this point. All right, so we not doing coaches tonight unless the coach was an abusive relationship or intimate partner relationship. We're going to do the coaches in that arena. We already know that they put tough and love together, and tough and love never went together. No. All right, so if you sitting up here believing that tough love go together, something wrong with you.
Yeah,
something wrong with you. Okay. They are in two separate parts of the dictionary, and if you look up love, it is not associated with tough.
Definitely not.
It's definitely not. So stop manipulating the situation, please. I've also been hearing, I don't know, sisters, y'all been hearing that if he hit you, he like you.
You were taught that when you were a child.
Exactly.
I'm still hearing this today. I'm still hearing this today.
Yeah.
So it's all of our work in vain.
No. I just spoke on that the other day when I was speaking at one of my events. And the kids, they're telling the kids that. That's the sad part. Like, oh, he must like you. He keep picking on you. He must like you.
I wonder how did that start?
Yeah, that's ridiculousness. I said no, and I looked right at Lisa's daughter when I was speaking because she was the youngest person in the room, and I'm like, no, that's not love. That's not love at all. So that's not like or any of the above. No. So no, So we got to get that right.
So when they grow up, they believe this. Is this what we're saying there? This is true to them that when they grow up, this is what's happening to them.
Right. Because we believe what our parents and what the older people tell us as children. My mother told me when my period came on, I couldn't look at boys no more. Period. That was it. And guess what I did? Guess what I did when my period came on? I would walk with my head down and not look at boys because we believe what we're told.
Oh my God.
Programming.
Yeah. Programming. So we have to tell them, we got to keep it a bean with them. We got to tell them the truth. That's the only way they're going to know.
Girl, that just hurt my feelings again. And you know something else? My feelings keep getting hurt.
Sorry.
In this conversation. My feelings keep
It's sad. Hurt. But it's no handbook on how to be a parent. I gotta give my mother credit. She did what she could with what she knew. Her mother died at 15. Her father was all over the place. So she did what she could with what she knew. But I learned to do the opposite. Right. I talked to my children. I was not your period before it came on. I explained exactly what it meant and what was going to happen and all that. So that's what we have to do.
Well, I have no girls. I had all young men. So, but my grandchildren, my granddaughters, I got them the period ring. I sat down and talked to them.
Oh, okay. Oh. What is that? What's the period ring?
It's a ring it's a nice little ring that they wear on their hand, and it says that they will stay virgins.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm a little late. I should have got my you
give them a diary. You give them Tylenol, Motrin, things, a heating pad, all those things. It's in a little piece.
Wow.
See, this is what I'm saying about Mama Cherie. This is what I'm saying about Mama Cherie. She does the best hospitality that you ever want to meet.
I've never heard of that before. I'm glad you explained that.
Well,
I'm glad you explained that too.
These people did it.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Hold on. Who did it?
I don't want us to get taken down.
We good.
Girl, charge it to your head and that's y'all, baby.
Right.
I mean, the truth hurt, don't it?
It does.
It hurt you. Oh well.
Look, school me. I don't care who you are, as long as I'm learning a lesson.
I'm trying to tell you, learn something new every day, and that's what it's always about. That's always what it's been about. I don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. People got to get their ish together. They just have to. Because you just have to.
Yeah.
I'm talking about sports tonight. Checking in with our teams and stuff. Now I was privileged. Hey students, thank y'all for chiming in. Come on in and get in the conversation. I was well, I'm not gonna say guest speaker. I did several sessions with football teams, high school football teams. The males, when it comes to sports, were struggling with things that they never heard before in terms of intimate partner relationships or their teen dating violent relationship, abusive relationship, with interpersonal relationships, whatever those are. They were struggling that the session was for them to get the help that they needed in terms of being an athlete, having multiple girls offer you pleasure, having multiple girls competing for you, having girls literally get physical with you and whomever else that female is. The young men really don't understand that level of abuse.
Well, how do they feel about that?
They really, once we chop down those tags, you know how those tags go: verbal abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse. Of course, they've never heard of the tags this way, right? And then two, nobody has come into the school system and say, I'm coming for you. This is not a girl session. This is a male session. Let's chime into this topic. So immediately, you get your shoulders up instead of down. You get your shoulders up instead of down. And then I have to gradually bring down their shoulders to let them see I'm dead serious about being here for you.
Right.
Because our young men need to know how to exit an abusive relationship, and especially young men that are in sports arenas, or you even have it with artists, you know, guys that are artists, they tussle with this mess that females be having going on, and the level of confusion can make that man outburst, right? So so now where he was the victim first, he turned abuser because he not knowing what to do. He trying to please them all at one time. He young, his brain is not fully developed about this thing. All I know is I play football and I got 100 girls.
They want me.
Coming for me.
My grandson said to me once, he said he calls me Moo. He said, Moo, come on up here to my school and tell these girls leave me alone. He said, they won't stop knocking on my door. I said, are you kidding me? He said, Moo, they won't stop knocking on my door.
What?
He said, I'd rather just stay single right now. Concentrate
this is the confusion that our young men are facing with domestic violence, intimate partner violence, teen dating violence. That's still going to fall under Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is intimate partner domestic violence. So we're still falling under that, but we're just talking about it from a sports perspective. So our young guys that are getting into sports, they really need to have workshops prevalent for our young men.
Right, to prepare them.
To prepare them for that next level, college level of frat parties that turn into a constant nightmare where even some of the teammates are drugged, okay? And their clothes don't be on. All right. This is happening to male and female that are on campuses. And their sports life or frat life could have, you know, Delta Sigma, all the rest of them, Zeta Phi, all of these things is added on to them being successful sports players. So that triples your number of groupies that are trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to be possessive, aggressive, and
they trying to stay clean.
It's like they saying, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick
me,
pick me.
Right.
And everybody is just going haywire.
So where's it coming? Where's it coming from? Social media? Where's it coming from?
What I can tell you is definitely not coming from that dinner table where they teaching our young people how to handle these relationships. I know that.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, it could be coming right from their dinner table where the parents, of course, are in these intimate partner relationships. And mothers and fathers years ago, they was cheerleaders in football players or volleyball players. And now they husband and wife. And how many fights they got into for other people? You know what I'm saying? And then you finally choose somebody. You just choose somebody because you just cannot do all of that. Like you didn't ask for all of that. Right. Nobody really knows that pressure that comes from being an athlete and having the pressure of somebody, multiple people wanting you.
Right. And you don't want to look like, I didn't mean to cut you off, Queen.
No, go ahead.
And you don't want to look like, you know how men are, their ego, they macho and all that. They don't want to look soft. Yeah. Or because that it's a male thing that where they don't want to look soft or whatever. Yes. And they don't want their friends thinking, oh man, you a punk because she wants you and you don't, you know what I mean? Like your grandson said, he's not ready for no relationship. There's not too many kids that age that are in college that have that mentality. Thank God he has you, and your family and his, your son or whoever is raising him the right way. But unfortunately, a lot of families don't have that. A lot of these guys don't have that. So
they don't.
These conversations need to be had.
They don't. They absolutely do.
Right.
They do not. They don't. So do we have any what you got, Mama Cherie? What you find out? Did you find out some stuff on this subject?
Well, I found out that when you do the ratings of what team has the most domestic violence, and you guys would probably already know it's NFL, it's football. It's football. Yep. Right. And the least is hockey and basketball, but it's because of they did a study, and because it's a physical sport. Right. So now you're talking about college. So it's a physical sport like that. It's competition. They're always like on heightened alert. And then you got somebody mouthing. Or you got all these girls, as Queen said, always, trying to put themselves on them. They get agitated. And a lot of them suffer with depression.
Yeah.
Suicide, depression, eating disorders because they have to stay a certain weight.
Yeah.
And that brings on more pressure. And that's still messing with the mind too.
Right. It does.
And they don't seek help till it's too late.
Yeah. Wow. So the NFL is at the top of the list. That's that's really, really alarming. I wonder what about cheerleaders though? I went trying to find things about cheerleaders because you have male and female cheerleaders that are on one team that are dating. Some are dating each other on the team. I went to try to, dig deep into that research, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but I did find out about for females, volleyball is a very prevalent one for female athletes, as well as track. Because who doesn't want a girl that runs track?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want a girl that runs track? You are willing to do whatever it takes to be with this girl. For some of them are so possessive. It's like she was on the phone with you telling you we together. But she never told you that. So now you stalking her. You know what I'm saying? And you're an athlete. You see what I mean? They hit you with the blackmail stuff. You see them, they got videos of you. Y'all might have hooked up one time. Now they done somehow snuck videos of you. Now, if we ain't together, I'm gonna post this video. Wow. That extortion and blackmail that go on in these sports relationships, intimate partner relationships as well. How do we begin, or what should we do in terms of our athletes? I already said I think they need to open up the doors to have athletes have their own sessions regarding domestic violence.
Yes.
Sure.
That's one of my solutions. But where should we start it to kind of tailor this thing the way we think it should go? with our young people and getting them ready for those next levels of their sports careers?
I think you start at the school board and have and tell them what you'd like to introduce to the schools. Yeah, because years ago I had introduced a program to county school system, Pledge to Succeed. And so I had to go to the school board first to get permission. So you start there. And then you get
what did they say to you?
They allowed me to do it.
Oh,
so what did it entell? Like Pledge
to Succeed was the fifth graders. And we had sessions. I allowed them to tell me things, and some of the teachers who volunteered, their issues that were going on at home, it didn't go anywhere. There's just us. You just letting everything out. Sometimes the little children will start crying because they wanted to tell somebody something. And then we also had a police officer come in, and he discussed with them street smarts, how to act in the streets.
That's good. Both of those are good.
Right.
We had a few people volunteered. It was a good program. And then they graduated, and it was they just needed that outlet. And so what we're talking about now, if you go to the school board and tell them, you have your curriculum of what you want to teach, how you want to teach it. You line up people that are willing to come in, retired football players or whomever, basketball, and have them come in and do sessions.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Right.
And do sessions as well.
Yeah, do the sessions.
Okay, that's a great idea. For those of us that want to start getting into the sports world, and helping with this conversation, because this conversation is absolutely needed for our athletes, and talking to them about the trouble that this thing can bring. It can bring a whole lot of trouble for somebody who was never in trouble before.
Right.
And now all of a sudden they being charged with
rape.
Murder. With a homicide. Or rape. Yeah. Right? So definitely thinking about opening up their door.
And if we catch them now at a younger age, before they get to the NFL and all that, then it can prevent a lot of heartache and trouble and pain and stuff too. Because once they get to the NFL, it's like it's 10 times more women that's coming after them and everything else. So if they're, like you mentioned, have some type of group or some type of session for them and prepare them, they can be ready when they get to that point. Because that darn NFL, man, is vicious. It is vicious. And
it's vicious.
The way that they were, what I had read earlier was football season, like right now, is the highest, is rated the highest time for domestic violence. Like, because like when the anxiety from them betting and from them, possibly losing and everything, like, is really bad. It's really, really bad. And
then you constantly have a coach or coaches in your face telling you not step your game up and all this old tough love.
Yeah, tough love, as they put it.
Yeah, you have a bad game. Whew.
It is.
Go home and take it out. Go home and take it out on your wife.
And go home and you taking it out on your wife. You bringing your stuff out there on that field, and you're not supposed to be mixing business with pleasure. Okay. Another type of violence that can occur, of course, is what we're talking about, which is intimate partner violence in the sports world. But they're saying, like we're saying, it's often considered behind closed doors.
Yeah, right.
They're saying the concept is considered more private and often occurs behind closed doors. So is this why we don't want to educate? Or shouldn't we be educated?
It's just like anything. Yeah, we should be educating, but it's just like anything else. Like what back in the day, what happens in this house stays in this house. It's the same. It's the same scenario. It's the same thing. You know, whatever goes on here needs to stay in here. Period. And it just lately, because these NFL players are beating their wives in public and doing things, you know, like that, it's starting to come out more often now.
Right.
You know, so they're not keeping it behind closed doors, as they say.
Well, right now with the NFL, if you are reported that you are involved with domestic violence, your first offense is, I believe, is you get. I think you set out 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, it was 4 games at one time, but now the latest thing that I heard, it was like a guy had to sit out 2 games, and I think that is just
2 games. That's right, but
I think that's just like a tap on the hand.
That's right. And your second one, you set out for the whole year.
Yeah,
possibly. They didn't say
right. The second one.
Yeah,
that's it. They believe you. That's it. And furthermore, that's you know what? That's at the coach's discretion.
Yeah. Especially depending on who it is. Now, if it's the quarterback,
depending on
who it is. If it's somebody just
quarterback, if it's a quarterback, wide receiver, running back,
they're gonna work things out.
They going out there. And if your time is good, you going out there.
You know who Ray Rice is? They just made him set out 2 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And did you see his wife in the picture that's sitting next to him? She just looks, she's broken. Like, and it's so obvious. She's sitting there with her head down, and you know, and he set out 2 games. Wow.
2 games.
Right. Yeah. That part.
Wow.
That part. Because he had a lawyer who knew how to negotiate.
Right.
That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
They have lawyers that can get them out of this stuff or get them the bare minimum.
Right.
Of time for, you know, intimate partner or interpersonal relationships. So we got to make sure that you know, we take that into consideration when we're scouting out coaches and things, teams and stuff like that. You need to understand, you know, and pay attention to what these people saying to your children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to pay. No coach should be jumping in no child's face at this point, talking about some tough love mess that don't even exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because tough love, no smart person, which is all 3 of us, is going to tell you that tough and love go together. But like Renee said, grew up at that dinner table, you know, we did what they taught us. We said what they taught us to say. Yeah. We said what everybody else really was saying.
Yeah.
And it all sounded like it made sense. But
even if we didn't think it did, we got what they said is what they said, and we gotta listen.
Mm-hmm.
Back then,
he hit you because athletes, is this what they're going to be doing? Mm-hmm. Is that what they're going to be doing? Just hitting people and thinking, oh, we could be in a relationship.
That's what they're trained to do, to hit people.
See, that's inappropriate.
They're trained to hit people. Now they should be trained,
and that's what they're saying too.
Right, they're trained to do that.
That's
but they should know that they should know the difference. They should know the difference. That just because you're trained to knock your opponent on his behind don't mean you're supposed to be knocking your wife or your girlfriend on hers too. So, I mean, it's basically common sense, but a lot of children listen to people that they respect, whether it's their
when you have people who's supposed to be in your corner,
right? You think they're going to tell you the right thing.
Be in your corner.
Well, as I read, because it's such a contact sport, that it builds up so much aggression in them.
In adrenaline, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It does. So they still hyped up when they come off after the game. They, you know,
and then don't let them be hyped up and lost the game too.
Lord, yeah,
right.
When they lose the
game.
Well,
that's what Renee was just saying. That's what she was just saying. Like
poor
you get so hyped, then they lose, and then a whole thing can come out of that because they frustrated them because they didn't lost the fight. I mean, lost the game. And let's not forget, I'm surprised boxing wasn't on your list but it should have been because we have so many boxers that have been arrested. Balance. You know, or their spouse have been arrested for beating up their husband or wife. That's the sports person in this mess.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It didn't come up.
It didn't come up.
It didn't come up.
And that's crazy because that's that should have been at one of the top of the list. Yeah.
It's more than just Mayweather who then court charges for domestic violence as a boxer.
Mike Tyson beat up. Remember Mike Tyson beat up
exactly
actress?
Yes.
It's a bunch of boxers. Robin Givens,
Robin Givens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Robin Givens. That was supposed to be the whole thing.
That's supposed to have been hush hush.
Right.
Yeah. That part. Yeah. but he had already probably been doing it to several women. You know what I'm saying? They never told.
That's right.
But she decided, you're not playing with me like that. Like
exactly. Somebody gotta break the chain. And
somebody gotta break the chain, and she was up for you know what I mean? She was up for the fight. Thank God for her because Mike has changed his life. He's been redeemed. Yeah, now, we're not saying that you can't be redeemed from it, but
you just don't want you to start it.
Yes.
Just don't start it.
Just don't start it. And look at the life that Mike Tyson had to go through for him to get to where he at now, his happiest self.
Peace. Yeah.
And wish him already angry. Already angry.
Yeah.
Extremely angry.
Extremely angry. And you have some females out here that are extremely angry. They coming for your child. Honey, they coming for your child. And especially if your child is a star athlete. Okay. And doing well for themselves, because you also know that in college football, you can start getting promotion money and all that kind of stuff. You can sign endorsements.
Right.
So that becomes a whole thing about why you choosing him or her and you didn't choose me.
Right.
Another one would be baseball. I'm surprised baseball players didn't come up on the list.
Well, baseball is only 7%.
7% is low. And why do you think that is? You think they not doing it's not happening, or do you think it's not just not being reported?
I think they're not reporting.
Not reporting it, probably, yeah.
The reporting is probably the thing with them. And then baseball is a very conservative sport, so they definitely don't want to be linked to something like domestic violence. So they could be
at 6%. Hockey and basketball is at 6%.
6%, and that's even lower than Well, let me say something to you. You know, Shaquille O'Neal ex-wife Shawnee got the Basketball Wives that she hosts on TV. Now it is nothing about no 6% the way them girls be acting about on that day. They go hard for their situation. You hear me?
That's about the money.
They go hard for their situation and their basketball player and their basketball player husband. And he done had affairs with multiple women. And you still.
That's about the money.
Yeah.
That's about the money. That's about,
the clout, the money.
Clout. Yeah.
That's what so at that point, whose fault is it? At that point, whose fault is it?
It's her fault.
It's theirs for staying.
It's theirs together, but she's staying there for the abuse, just to look good.
Right. And then you dragging your kids. You got 57 kids, you're dragging them through all of that. They're seeing all that. And it's not worth it.
You cannot put makeup on the children's feelings like you do yours.
Listen.
Because it will backfire on you. It's going to backfire on you. But you can put all that makeup on you, but you cannot do that to the children, honey.
No.
And that's a male or female, because we got males covering up their little scratches and everything too. Because they sitting up here lying about what happened to them. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can tell they be lying because they be shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They don't really want me to know. They don't really want me to get an inkling of. You see what I mean? But when I did that session up Eastern High School, some of the football players were in my session and their heads was like this.
Mm-hmm.
Shoulders down, heads like this. Because the female partners was in there in the session too.
Eastern High School, I know that was lit.
It was lit. And then partners looking at each other like, she asking us who in abusive relationship. They side-eyeing each other like,
you better not say that.
Which one of y'all gonna say? You gonna say something?
Yeah.
Well, you ain't even got to say nothing with me, baby. I'm gonna come for you.
Mm-hmm. No, look, when I went to which school you sent me to, DVWMT school. Listen, I done been so many.
I'm sorry, Renee, girl. You done been got on the bus and been on the 92, the X4, and all that.
Let me tell you, those kids, junior high school. No, that was high school. Them kids are off the shade. Like one couple was in there, and the friends was telling all their business.
Right.
Oh yeah, y'all really need to talk to her because y'all was just fighting the other day.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh really? And he looking like, and she was like, oh, y'all, why y'all running y'all mouth? You know.
Right.
But it's like innocent. Right. They don't want me in their business, but I said what I had to say, did what I had to do, and I did talk to them. You know what I mean? Right. I did talk to them, and I told both of them that neither one of them should be putting their hands on each other.
That's right.
I said, it's you hitting him is just as bad as him hitting you. And if you don't want him to hit you, keep your hands off of him. I had to tell my daughter that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
My child. Yes. Okay, you don't want him knocking your block off and him ending up in a ditch. Mm-hmm. It's best for you to keep your hands to yourself.
Absolutely.
Do not put your hands on him for any reason. If you have a problem, leave, walk out, go for a walk, whatever. But do not put your hands on them because it's going to cause a whole bunch of problems.
Mm-hmm. It's going to have a whole bunch of problems, honey.
Right. Then you start getting families involved.
Exactly.
Then you start getting families involved.
Yeah, that's my point.
Becomes a whole thing.
Causing unnecessary drama because it definitely will be drama.
Yeah.
So
it definitely will be.
Yeah, but those kids they something. And it was two girls in there. It was the same thing. It was like the female on female thing. It was the same. They were sitting in there arguing while we was in there. I'm like, they did listen. They got quiet. They respected me while I was talking and everything. But they gonna say that.
And none of these are athletes. These are just the regular children.
You know what? Honestly, I don't even know if the guy was an athlete or not. He looked like he possibly could have been, but I didn't go. I never asked. But he could have possibly been. But these are regular, as far as I know, regular students.
Right.
But yeah.
Wow.
With the girls on girls, and because they have their monthly, and then you're going through all the stress, the hormones and everything. Who's teaching them how to keep themselves in check? You blow up at your mom because you're on your period.
Yeah.
So now you got two of them together. Mm-hmm. That ain't cool.
Yes.
No, that's dangerous.
I told him, I said the worst thing we can do is put two cats in the house together. That's the worst thing in the world we can do is put two cats in the house together, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You got to teach them how to be kind to one another.
That's
right.
And not come for your head every time. The worst thing we can do, excuse my French, is put two bitches together in the house.
Yeah, that's true.
Because one of them is going to rule, honey.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, y'all think y'all in a relationship, y'all don't even know how to talk to each other.
Nope.
Right.
The female. And they are horrible verbal abusers. I mean, they cut their mouth.
Go for the juggler.
Yep.
And spin it around.
They hurt each other so deeply. There's no balance there. There's no balance. That's why man and woman get together, because there's supposed to be a balance of, what you call it, masculinity and femininity or whatever. That balance there, where you get two femininities in there. Oh my God, anything can go.
They shooting gut shots and everything else. They just don't care.
Lord, and don't add another female that look better than you into the equation. Oh, trust me, I know.
It's vicious.
I know. The cycle for them is not a joke.
Right.
No, it's not.
And then we got to realize for them, they be all on, the hormonal pills and things because they trying to transition.
Right.
Those things some of those pills make you aggressive.
Right.
And very moody. Some of them make you have depression real bad. Right. And so that's their part. The other thing about our athletes too is that you just got a lot of them who trying to run away from home, just don't want to be in that traumatic mess anymore. So they willing to do whatever it takes to get away from their household.
But then they take it, but they don't understand. They taking that built-in hurt that's inside them somewhere else, taking it right with you.
Where they're going. Right.
And so then our children become subject to that.
Yeah.
See, our children become subject to that, which is why the education is important, like y'all stated. I don't know. Coaches are very touchy about, people coming in and talking about doing sessions with the sports scene. And especially in the DMV, it's not what you know, is who you know in the sports arena. They keep a real tight net on who they allow to come in there and have those conversations. So much like the NFL does the same thing, or much like baseball, they all do it. But I just think some of them do it better than others, except for boxing. Boxing don't care to me.
Right.
Boxers don't care to me. I think they black out and forget.
They just might, because of all the blows to the head.
Because of all of the brain injury that they could be dealing with. You see what I mean? They just black out, and next thing you know, they didn't kill or strangle very badly. And then, like you mentioned, eating disorders and all that. So there's that. Some of them take steroids for the body image stuff, and that's the
steroids. And the steroids, they mess with their hormones.
They mess with your psychological.
Yes.
It's a lot of things that our players are on that we don't even know about that causes their male and female to have these aggressions.
And what? I'm surprised the bodybuilding wasn't in that too, because they're known for taking
steroids.
Steroids and stuff, yes. Yes. They're known for taking those steroids, and somebody could potentially end up dead in situations like that. And that was a case.
What about the wrestler? Excuse me.
The lady.
Yes.
The wrestler who took his whole family out? Was it Benoit? Something like that?
Yeah. When was this? This one is new.
This is a few years ago.
On Netflix.
No, this happened. This is not a movie. This wrestler did this.
Real. It was real life.
Yeah, it was real life. He took his whole family out.
Okay, I didn't see that.
They said it was from the steroids.
Yes. I did not see that one. I saw the one where the wife had to end up killing her husband because he was a wrestler. Doing it, and that's how they met, I think. Okay. And so she got into it too. She got into it too and was just as big as he was.
I saw that. I remember that. I saw that.
You remember that, right?
I saw that.
Yeah. And she had to end up killing this guy because she said the steroids was just having him going crazy.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And then she had to find a place to try to rebuild her life all over again and all this stuff because she was in that relationship with them steroids going on. Like, so you got to tread lightly about, even definitely in our sports arenas, having these conversations with sports players, male and female, and allowing them that space to just get more insight, get more enlightenment, put them in a space where they can ask those hard questions or those uncomfortable questions. You know, some of us can specifically start targeting sports so that we can maneuver in that arena to get the message to them about domestic violence, intimate partner violence, and how important that is for us to talk to our athletes about that conversation. And it's all about, you know, building rapport and building that trust with them, so that they'll know, okay, well, I can call such and such, you know, and really have a conversation about what I'm going through. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not penalized, or I haven't been penalized to do it.
That's
like,
right.
because we talking about prevention, right? So we talking about before that athlete even get to college, high school, college, or whatever. We want to try to catch them in the early stages, so that, you know, they can process, okay, wow, on each stage they're processing it. You know, as they see their level of commitment to the sports game go up, they see, okay, well, wow, this girl's behavior or this man's behavior, like, I learned this back in rec ball.
That's right.
Like, I am not to be tolerating nobody coming for me like that.
Exactly.
See what I mean? In rec ball, as opposed to waiting until they get to middle school or high school, especially high school.
They need to know that crazy in love.
They need to know early on.
Crazy. It could be just crazy.
Cousin is dating one of the. She's a cheerleader, but she's also dating. What they need to know.
You want? I can't hear you, Queen.
You lagging.
Repeat that one more time.
Who, me?
Repeat that one more time. Yeah.
I said they need to know that they need to know that, you know how people joke around, man, she crazy. Yeah, she crazy in love with me. They need to know crazy is crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
Crazy is crazy.
It definitely is.
You know what? I wanted to say something. As far as the wrestling thing, when I did the last book that I did, right? It was 12, I believe 12 of us in that book, and I don't want to mention the person's name because I just can't. But it was a wrestler. His wife was in the book that I'm in, and you would not believe, like, the person or some of the things that she told us that he did to her. So I'm like, you know, and that's why when they say it does not matter how your economical background, your race, nothing. The stuff that she said this man did to her, it was like, I thought my story was bad, but he's a wrestler though too. You know, it's basically like she was his wrestler, his partner, you know, like taking her down. He did that people in the ring type thing. But it, you know, like, I was surprised because when she got on there on our Zoom and thing, and she started saying who her husband was, and I really, we used to watch wrestling, my brothers and sisters and I, and I loved it. And he was one of my favorite wrestlers. And when I saw that, I'm like, wow, you know, so it doesn't matter who you are. You look up to people and think they so great, and look, reality is nobody that, you know, that can't be touched.
Right.
You know, so
anybody can be the victim, and anybody can be victim turn abuser. And that's exactly we're seeing a lot of this. I think I was just talking to a police officer at one of the domestic violence events that I was at, and I said, are you seeing a rise in female abusers? And she said, absolutely.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Me too.
Absolutely.
Because men are starting to speak up more.
Starting
to speak up more.
Yeah. Yeah. But not enough. But yes. Men need to know that if they call 911, just like our sports guys and girls, y'all need to know if you call 911, you get the right help. You get the right help that you're supposed to get.
Right.
And not no police officers come out and say, why y'all calling me? She 4'2".
Yeah.
Why you call me for her?
Humiliating them.
Yeah,
Right.
humiliating them and making them say, well, I ain't calling them no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually reached out them to get some help, and this is what they told me. Like,
right.
That's on us at the end of the day. Like, that's not on them at that point, because you made them feel like that wasn't important.
It says, according to the national hotline, that 3 out of 10 athletes partners are beat or in domestic violence relationships, and 1 out of 10 for men.
And 1 out of 10 for men, yeah. And so with the men, like Renee Michelle just said, it was like 1 out of 72. Or 1 out of 47. Wow. So the 1 out of 10 means that some people are reporting.
Yeah.
Some people are some males are reporting the cases.
Yeah, which is good.
Which is a good thing.
Right.
That's good. So we need males and females. If you guys are in an abusive relationship, we need you to have evidence that you're in that abusive relationship, because different strokes for different folks in the criminal justice system. But when you have your evidence, these people cannot play with you when you have your evidence. Right? So you got the restraining order on somebody. Then you're supposed to have that order on you at all times. You're supposed to have your order with you at all times, because 9 times out of 10, we know that abuser, male or female, is not going to stay no 100 yards away from you.
They don't care about that paper.
They could care less.
So
they could care less.
That's that.
And if anything, that's going to agitate them more.
You can take it to the bank and cash it.
I have a young man that one of my fellow officers that I work with, and I was talking to him last week, and he said to me, I was showing them my website and all this stuff, and I was telling them, it's Domestic Violence Month. I was just talking about what I do, which a lot of them already know, but I just was showing them my website, and he was like, wow. They call me Finney at work, and he was like, wow, Finney. He said, to be totally honest with you, my girlfriend is abusive to me. And I'm looking at him like, this dude is like 6'5", 200 some pounds. And I'm looking at him. I didn't know whether he was joking or, because the other guys, everybody that was around us was like, started giggling. And I'm like, that's nothing to laugh about. Like, are you serious? Because I didn't know whether he was serious or not. And I said, this is not, I take this personal. That's what I told him. I said, I said, there's nothing funny about it. I said, are you serious? And he said, Finney, for real, seriously. He said, some of the things that they saying, they making up, but for real, she really is. She does hit me. And I'm not going to hit her back. And, well, that's not good. So, because he had told me that he left her and everything. And he said that one of the guys talked to him and told him, to get back with her for the child. I said, for the child, it's not about the child, especially if y'all are, she's putting her hands on you. That's not healthy for your child. And I had a long conversation with him and everything. And, I hope, and I've invited him to some of my events and stuff like that. And I want him, Queen, I really want him to come to something that you are having, because you are one of the people that do lean a lot towards, for the most part, one of the only people that I know that do a lot for men that are involved with domestic violence. So I did talk to him about it, and he said he would be willing, to come.
Good. That's good. Yeah, he ought to come and have that conversation. Yeah.
And he's a police officer. He carries a gun.
It don't matter.
Hit him one day the wrong way, and he could just black out.
Girl, that's what I'm saying. That part.
So that's why I talk to him and everything, because I don't want that to happen to him. He's a good guy. He always, he's a good guy, and I don't want him to have to go through that, or her, or anybody for that matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So.
True that. Some people in these relationships, they just don't see, not even see. Let me take the C part back. They just don't believe them red flags are serious.
Right.
It's all outdoors. Them red flags are serious. It's all outdoors. And if you start letting that person get away with them red flags on you,
it could escalate.
It can escalate to the point where that person could black out, or the person could be saying no more and just being impulsive and irrational. But they're literally saying no more because I'm mentally tired of this.
Right.
You have women and men that can say that. Women and men say that.
Right. Yeah. I think that's why he left. I think that's why he left the first time.
Absolutely.
And then, he was like, he missed her and the kids and everything. And he went back and somebody talked to him, like, y'all could work it out, whatever. But the thing, and I asked him, because I know his mom very well. She works on the base too. And I said, she does not play at all. She don't play. So I said, does your mother know? He said, no. I said, I think you might need to have a conversation with your mom. He was like, I don't know. I don't want to put her,
I bet you some of these people are out here saying, and you better not tell your mother.
Because her mom, listen, if his mother knew, his mother works with the admirals. She's like a 15. She's like high in the ranks up there on the base.
Right.
She's like all over the place helping everybody and everything. But she's a really nice woman, but she don't play.
Right.
She don't play by her child at all, even on that job. She does not play. So I know for a fact, if he were to tell her what's going on, that thing would be nipped in the bud real quick. But you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. I told him, I said, talk to your mom. He was like, I don't know.
Well, it could get worse for him for telling.
Right. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I suggested that he, figure out some type of plan, just like I tell everybody else. We tell everybody else that, don't just leave because you're 6'5", don't mean that you can't get hurt too.
That's right.
You have to go to sleep and whatever you do, don't tell her you're leaving.
That's right.
Do not tell her that you're leaving. So he was like, thanks, Finney, for, talking to me and everything. And, I really seriously, he was like, look at me. I'm really serious about, I want to come to one of your events. And I was like, I pray that you do. So
he's not going to be able to bring her.
Oh, definitely not. She's not invited. She's not invited.
She cannot know he's getting some help. That's out of the question. Hey, Jamel, thank you for chiming in tonight. We got about a minute or so left in the classroom. This has been our sisterhood view. Okay.
Yeah.
We are our own view. We don't have to be up there with Oprah. I mean, not Oprah. What's her name? Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg. That's right.
See, you hear me? We don't have to be up there where we got our own view.
That's right.
On conversations that she ain't even going to talk about. She be up there talking about some other stuff. This is domestic violence month, and that's about it for her.
They don't want to touch this stuff we talk about.
Okay, she's not doing it, baby. And you was silly in the color purple. Are you serious?
Right?
You know what Silly was going through. Are you serious?
Yeah. Getting knocked upside her head.
Getting beat down and raped and everything else from this man who's supposed to be her husband.
But
so you play that character and you think that that's it?
Yeah.
You play that character and you think that that's it? Because I was watching her on this month. I've been watching her to see if she will take her domestic violence advocacy up to another level.
No, they're too busy on Trump.
She is not.
No, they're too busy on Trump.
Trump is not important. We had people dying.
That's right.
They distracted.
Did she not realize that Silly is a real character in the world?
Real life. Yep. Real life.
Silly was Me?
Silly was up.
Did she not understand?
Yeah.
Come
Silly
on,
was
boo-boo.
definitely. Yeah.
I just don't like how she been downplaying the situation and just been bypassing on what things that are not important. I don't care if you sitting there. The reason why y'all should be talking about it is because y'all got a diverse panel.
Yeah.
We could get more information like that.
Mm-hmm. But see, everybody don't want to talk about it.
Nope.
Everybody don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about it.
No,
they don't. That's why I thank God for people like us that have a platform that will.
And they say, they say we are in more domestic violence relationships than they are, and that's not true.
That's not true.
They don't call. They just don't call. They don't talk about it.
Exactly.
They don't be talking about it.
No.
That's my whole thing. How you gonna say that and you guys don't even talk about the subject?
No, they're too embarrassed because they have this.
And so what we supposed to do? Not mention that they're going through it?
No, that's definitely gonna happen. We're gonna talk about it all.
On that field, you have African American, you have Caucasian, you have Hispanic, Latino. You have multiple nationalities out there. So what, we just not gonna talk about the situation? We just gonna dumb down this conversation?
I stopped watching them. It was just it's just ridiculous now. I used to love them.
It's getting terrible.
It's not informative anymore.
Right.
No. And that's, you know what? That's what I'm saying. It's just not there anymore. So you're right. I agree with you on that. Because I'm not understanding why are you bypassing that conversation. And Oprah just brought the color purple back. Thank God for Fantasia, because Tasia know what time it is.
She sure do. Been there, done that.
Been there and done that, honey. I don't have no shame in my game.
Nope.
And Tasia will talk to you about that situation on several platforms. She had made a whole movie about her life and how she was okay.
Yeah.
And lastly, we don't know how many athletes. We gonna throw this out there just in the melting pot. But of course, we got to come back and have our puffy conversation. We got to get back in here and have a conversation about Puffy and everything he got that's demonic. Everything he into right now at this point is just demonic. Like oh Lord, I don't know if his soul is saved or not. I don't know if he's accepted the Lord Jesus Christ as that. I don't know if he is Muslim. I don't know what he is, Hindu at this point. I thought he was doing yoga. I thought he was into yoga and getting closer to his spiritual connection. How many athletes have he hosted parties for?
Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Isn't that what somebody said, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what they said. Now,
you probably got so many athletes.
That's exactly what that athlete said. That
football players.
Oh yeah, basketball, football. LeBron James.
LeBron James is the one who said ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's literally, if we sit back and wait and watch, it's going to be so many of them, so many people on every level, movies, football, basketball, everything. There's going to come out that were at the Diddy parties. And some of them decided to leave before 12, and those were the ones that didn't see
supposedly.
Supposedly, right. I'm talking about pastors and everything. It's like what they but they said we're gonna talk about this another day.
CEO.
Right. Everybody, a little bit of
Nike CEO retired.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Or resigned, not
a
retired.
lot of them stepped down.
He resigned. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they had to step down because they realized, he has tapes.
Oh yeah, and all of them are in them. Yeah, so that's gonna be an interesting conversation.
That's gonna be an interesting conversation when we come back here, because we gotta tap into the Diddy parties, the freak offs. We definitely gotta tap into the freak offs. I'm saying right now. I don't want Blake to end up at no freak off. I don't want Jewels to end up at no freak off with nobody now.
Okay. None either. None
you
of
won't
them.
be freaking off over here. No, you're
That's
not.
Right. No,
going to be doing that. And Puffy got sons. He got daughters, baby. You just had a 2-year-old.
Yeah. Beautiful daughter. Yeah. Beautiful daughter.
Come on, let me say something to you. Karma is a thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
don't fall too far from the tree. You hear the old people say, apple don't fall too far from the tree.
That's right.
Like, what was he thinking? Like, I don't understand. Like,
he was thinking about his sexual immortality.
Well, see, you'd have to go back to see what happened to him. And
what happened to him. That's true.
What happened to him?
He's never told us his story. All these 30 years, Puffy have never told us his story.
Well, his father, his father got killed. His father got killed because his mom found out that the father was having an affair. And so she went and told the guys, the woman's husband, and he went and shot Puffy's dad in the head. Now, Puffy's dad used to work for Frank Lewis. And you know who Frank Lewis is, the gangster.
He was a big time hustler,
That's right. And so then that's when they all moved. But she put him in Catholic school. And see, I'm thinking that's where it started. He was an usher boy, all that. So where did it start?
You know what the priests were doing to the children?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
What they still do today to children.
Puffy has been being groomed for a long time to take this position that he has right now.
And then they said Clive Davis.
Clive Davis under him when Puffy was at Howard University, he met this other guy, and I'll have his name for us the next time. But this other guy, he and Puffy were in a relationship together too, because that's how he got Bad Boy Records. The guy gave him Bad Boy.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly.
And so all these years from a child up to now, he has been groomed.
He's being groomed.
And he's also had anger in him because the bodyguard said he has slapped his mother. Now you see how there's something going on with him and the mom too now. Because they say Puffy like people wearing white fingernail polish, and the mom was wearing white fingernail polish. That's kind of sick.
And the way they kiss. I mean, the way
they kiss.
Yeah, the way they kiss each other.
And you know what he said, right? He said, "Now don't get started." I'm like, you say what? Yeah. He said, "Don't do that. Don't get started." I'm like, that didn't sound too cool.
Right. It's a weird situation.
I'm telling all my athletes, stay away from Puffy's house.
Exactly. Please.
You are not doing no freak offs. No, you're not, son. You got to go.
With him being arrested, you best believe a lot of them got saved. But there's more Puffies out here.
Oh yeah,
there's lots of them out here still.
They said Russell Simmons.
Russell Simmons left because he knew what was coming for him.
He knew it was coming. Yeah, he's definitely one of them.
Never coming back.
Yeah,
and now
that's gonna be interesting.
And now his daughter dating some old man.
Yeah, and that's karma. See.
The apple is gonna come back around, baby. You're going to get it back what you did. All right. I'm living with.
What's her name? What's her name? Something Lee. His wife's name.
Lee. I know you're talking about the wife.
She was not over 18 when they first started dating.
No, she was 17.
She was a teen model.
Yeah.
A teen model.
And he wanted to push up on this little girl. Look. We have to come back for the freak old party. I'm trying to tell you, this is crazy. We're going to have our own freak old party to figure out what was going on with Puffy when we come back here. Because
we're going to have a freak old party conversation.
We're going to have a freak old party up in here, honey. Bring your little handcuffs and your baby oil.
And they said it was stuff in there.
In the baby oil.
Yeah. They said it was stuff. We could talk about it. We could talk about it. He was wild. He was
Bring your punch with the ecstasy and the GB.
They ain't even need that. It was in the baby oil.
It was in the baby oil.
It was all in the baby oil.
And it was in the punch though too.
Yeah, he was like, I saw pictures where he had people with their heads in the cushion knocked out. Like, what?
Wake up 3 days. Wake up 3 days later.
Before we get out of here, before we get out of here, did y'all see all of the baby oil in the bathroom?
Yeah. Thousands and thousands of bottles.
So Blake gonna ask me, why did Puffy have all of those baby oils?
Oh Lord. And what'd you tell her? Wow.
Oh my God. I said, Blake, Puffy is into some raunchy things.
Right. He's different.
We gonna keep him in prayer, Blake, but Blake already know because I stay on her about that phone.
Mm-hmm.
And about if she hit somebody, some old man on the other in that line, talking about is your mother home with an adult set in your house.
Mm-hmm.
You need to let them look. I'm 8 years old, so I don't talk to grown men. So goodbye. Blake is trained pretty well. She trained pretty well when it comes to that.
That's good.
So but yes, we'll come back and have our. I'm gonna have me some handcuffs and the feather thing that go around your neck, so I can woo woo woo. Girl, I am so done with this situation. I promise you, I will be back.
Look, I'm just gonna line all the baby oil back here, okay?
Okay, put all the baby oil around because this is crazy. I mean, this takes the cake over.
It is,
baby. When you start showing us them 1,000 daggone boxes and boxes and boxes of baby oil.
It's really sad.
Mama Cherie, I don't know how many oils you can fit back there behind you.
She got enough room. She got enough room to fit thousands.
Girl, I know you got some counter space up in there, but do you got enough money to buy these thousands?
Right.
Wow. Baby, baby, because we not Puffy, so our stuff won't be cheap.
I'll get my son to do me an AI and put it behind me as the back screen.
Right.
All athletes, keep out of Puffy's house.
Stay away from
Puffy. Athletes, male and female, stay away from Puffy Combs. Stay away from him. That man will get you caught up with the feds.
Yeah.
Baby oil, feathers, handcuffs, videotapes,
and some more.
All right.
So, is it pink cocaine?
Pink cocaine. Oh Lord.
Ecstasy. They was doing it all.
Ecstasy. I mean, you
know. He also gave them a tranquilizer that's for a horse.
Oh my God. No, I ain't read that nowhere. So I gotta play like I'm nodding on here.
That was some of the stuff that was in the baby oil.
Right.
I'm not gonna say what I'm not gonna. That had to be inserted in you, ladies.
What?
Yes. What? And that's how they wouldn't wake up for a few days. And that's why he had to give them the vitamin drips.
What the?
They would be so dehydrated.
I'm trying
Good night. Good night, everybody. Good night. This party is over. This party. We ain't even had our party.
We have to continue this conversation.
No, we going to bed because no.
What they say? Wait a minute. What they say?
Take that.
Is that what they were saying?
Yeah. Take that. Yeah. That's just one of his favorite lines.
Mm-hmm.
Take that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now it's all coming together.
No, really this is the one. I'm sorry. I lied. That's me in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
After you done lied about doing Cassie like that, dragged her and all that. I didn't been like
kicked her.
That pissed me off so bad.
That happened to me. What happened to Cassie? That happened to me.
Yeah, it happened to me too, but that just really it pissed me off so bad.
That happened to me. What happened to Cassie?
Wow.
So why did he sit there and lie about that? If he would have not just lied about that, we probably wouldn't be where we are today.
No. If he had went ahead and paid her,
you're so smart that you're so dumb. You're so smart that you're so dumb.
Yep.
Well, his troubles really started also when he tried to sue the liquor company.
Oh yeah. That yes.
And then they are the ones who went after any and everybody to bring him down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he wasn't putting. They weren't putting the correct amount of alcohol in his liquor, his liquor, and he went and investigated.
Yeah,
and
that's
what did
right.
he do that for?
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, you're like, oh, okay.
Then he wanted to go sue them, and then they said, "Okay, we got you. We got you now. You want to take somebody down? You're going all the way.
You're going down."
He want to get people suited through the alcohol too.
Yeah.
Things that we
also, but no, we're gonna talk about it later because we could go.
Good night. Good night, ladies. Thank y'all for chiming in tonight.
We miss you, Tia. We miss you.
We miss you, Tia.
Y'all go in peace and love. We will be back here. We want to have our own freak off party next month. We got to get down to the bottom of investigating what this freak off situation is about.
Oh yeah.
We got to get to this. See, Puffy done taught other people how to have freak off parties.
Right.
Okay. So we got things that we need to be talking about and bringing to the forefront. We got things that's deep when we come back on the view, on our view the next time. We need to bring the show and tell. We need to bring the show and tell.
We definitely do.
People don't believe you till you really tell you show it. You got them people who just don't believe you until they see it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have our own little puffy shing ding so we can try to help some people out there who have been groomed to do this. Because it's somebody else thinking that they want to do this. And they thinking that they just plotting on how they can do this better than Puffy and never get caught. Because the object is that you never get caught. That's
like the guy that owned the Playboy Mansion and all those.
Yes.
Yeah. They did everything that he doing.
Look how long they let him do that. Look how long.
Right.
And he had underage girls there too.
He had a lot of them.
He sure did. He had a lot of them.
It's basically the same thing. It's just
they the same thing. They basically are the same people. Yeah. So we'll be back next month. Go in peace and love, everybody.
All right, good night, ladies.
Good night.
Tonight. Thank y'all.
I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone. Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying, it's coming down like raindrops. It's a behavior we can't condone. It's breaking up our happy homes. Let's get it together, talk about it, and let them know that they're not alone. Stop and think about it. This is your significant other. Why would you want your son to see you put your hands on his mother? Leaving little man shook. It's really a bad look. How he's supposed to concentrate and keep his head in the book? How's your daughter supposed to look up to dad? Don't you know that you're the first male role model she's ever had? The saying goes, a woman wants a man like a father. So what you telling her? To accept this from a man? You gotta watch how you talk to whoever you with. Words hurt, people forgive, but never forget. I guess it's up to a teen to teach these things. It's just my expression of why MCs sting. Seek a shelter from mayhem, they won't doubt you. And there's all types of programs to reach out to. No need to feel ashamed, cause it's not your fault. And this evil way of living has to come to a halt. Domestic violence, it has to stop. The kids are crying.